Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. In continuation of our efforts to bring the programs which are more benefits to our community people, MEEM TV has tried since the inception to submit, to broadcast all this kind of program. And Alhamdulillah, today in our studio we have the guest. His name is Paul Hunain, and he is the active care specialist. He is also expert in health and fitness, also in as a personal trainer. Inshallah, he will share with us his experience, and we will get knowledge out of him. How can we be more healthy and keep ourselves fit, and we can maintain this one. First, we need to find out what is the health. How can you define the health? According to WHO Constitution 1948, they define the health is a state of physical, mental, and social well-being. And it is not merely the absence of disease and the infirmity. So inshallah, we will find out from Mr. Paul. Let's welcome him to this program, and we will listen carefully so we won't miss any tips. Assalamu alaikum, and hello, and how are you?
Thank you. How are you?
First of all, I will say thank you very much. I know you are busy and just providing services to your clients, your customers. In the meantime, when I request for our community people, so we can share your expertise, your experience. So how can we save from the old age, once we cross the 50 or 40, our pain, all the birth, all things happen. So in this situation, we would know what we can do. And I know I just briefly explained about what he does, but he will be the better one. He can explain what he did previously and how he was beneficial to his own people, or client. He has a clinic, runs around in the Brampton area. You can see the bottom of the screen, Evolve as a Brampton. It is a physio and I think
Chiro, massage, and training.
Chiro and massage and everything. If you need any help or if any questions after the program, you can see the number 905-457 5575. Thank you very much, Paul. And it will be a good idea if you just let us know just a little bit more about you.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Paul, and I am the clinical director of Evolve Brampton. So I am an active care specialist. So basically what that means is that I help people become more functional. Now, what that entails is if someone were to get injured or has a specific fitness goal, I would help them achieve that in a very healthy way. So anything from post-surgery or pre-surgery and all the way to your fitness goals, I can help with.
Very good. That's very fast. Very good.
Thanks. Was it too fast? Just so you know?
No, it's very good. I know you have been as a coach. You're working as a coach for some teams member. What you are doing on that one?
Right. So for the past 13 years, I've been coaching at the high school level for wrestling. So it's ages from about 13 to 18 years old. And they compete everywhere from regionally here in Brampton, Mississauga, and all the way to the provincial level.
Very good. And I know you won some trophies, some games too.
Yeah, most recently, the school that I coach at is Turner Fenton, and they took home the boys title at OFSA. It's the 4th year in a row now, I believe, that they've taken that title. Very
good, very good. And Nazrin, our viewer, I need to add more thing here. He is also an entrepreneur too. He is in this field since the last 13, 14 years. But after serving the other people, he started his own business. And he's doing very good, alhamdulillah. If you need any questions, any help, anything, it is free of cost. First consultations, or maybe he also accepts insurance too. Let's start. How did you inspire yourself to, I know there's a lot of other fields. You can be engineer, you can be a doctor or other, but how did you choose this one?
I started playing sports from a very young age, and from a young age, you run into injuries. So, we always learn that injuries shouldn't slow you down, but you should be able to recover from them.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem that I was experiencing was a lot of my teammates and the people around me, including family, they were becoming injured, whether it was at home, at work, or playing sports, but didn't understand how to make themselves feel better or get better. So it was a really big interest of mine to basically at first help family and friends, and then that continued to build and go a little bit further into having my own place now and servicing the community.
Very good, very good. There's any incident, if you remember, where you help yourself to the people and they become more active in their life?
For sure. I mean, I get people all the time, for example, who have young children, and they say they don't have the energy to play with their children at home or when they take them to parks. So a part of what we do is that we help them regain their energy and their youth by feeling better, right? Eating a little bit healthier, being more flexible in their lifestyle, and then that translates into their life. So then they become at home, having healthier home lifestyles and being more active with their children, and also being more productive at work as
very
well.
Good, very good. Paul, I know we are in this busy life. We spend our 8 hours to 10 hours in office. And same thing with the ladies too. They also work in the office or maybe the factory, or a lot of people, especially we are in multicultural society. And unfortunately, here are more than 50 or 60% people are working as a blue collar job in factories. We all in the one time, because at the one point, everyone he came this country, he came as immigrant. And starting as a newcomer, you have to do the different job, our job too. In my case, your case, I don't know, but a lot of other people, I interviewed them. So what you suggest, I know when you come as a newcomer, what you did the first?
Well, one of the things that I realized is that your feet really are the central point of your body, because you're standing on them all day.
Your feet? Okay.
Yeah, your feet, yeah. So if you're working in factories or whether you're at home and everything, like you have to walk all day, you're standing all day, moving boxes, this and that, lifting the children at home, different things, right? So what we found was that when you wear orthotics and you give your feet stability, it really improves the rest of the body health. So, for example, a lot of people who have back pain, right, just from, for example, sitting down for long periods of time and getting tight muscles, or whether they have an active job from doing something repetitively all the time, lifting a box, putting it on a shelf, bending over, standing up, right, these are all common things that lots of people in the blue-collar business do. So when you take care of your feet and you provide your body that stability, you start to eliminate the knee pain and the back pain just from getting some devices to support your body. In addition to that, just maintaining some regular exercise and stretching and making sure that the body stays limber and not tight will make a big, big difference in your everyday lifestyle.
Here are 2 questions. Number one, the people who work in the factories, they're already doing a lot of exercise. They're working 8 hours or 10 hours or 12 hours. They are standing up, they're moving their bodies and does it count? It is their physical activities. I know it counts physical activities, but it will count as their exercise or not?
Not exactly, right? Because when we're looking at exercise, we have to target something specific. So, for example, if we're trying to lose weight, right, we want to burn some of the fat on our body. Well, your heart rate has to be at about 125 to 145 beats per minute.
Oh.
When you're working and we're lifting a box and putting it on the shelf, it doesn't quite reach that level. Right? And then the other issue with doing that is that repetitive movement and repetitive motions actually causes injury from overuse.
Oh.
Right? So at the same time, if we're not actually being physically active and improving our muscles and staying flexible by stretching, then these repetitive motions and movements can also create more damage, even though you're being active.
Right. And the same thing with the office, the people are sitting there for 4 hours till the break, or maybe 8 hours. In this situation, what you suggest they can prevent from the back pain or from the overweight, or be active in this situation?
Right. Yeah. So there's many options to help with those things. So a couple of the most common injuries that we find is carpal tunnel in the wrist, right? People get pain in their wrist from typing a lot. A lot of this has to do with the way that they're sitting. So this will also be in relation to their shoulders and their upper back, because when a lot of people sit, they're stretched out like this, right? When your shoulders are stretched out, I'm straining here the back of my neck and my shoulders. This is going to create more pain. I want to avoid that by sitting comfortably. So if my elbows are by my side and I'm able to type freely here, it's going to be more comfortable. I'm not going to strain my wrists or strain my shoulders. This is going to take a lot of the pain away from the back and the shoulders as well as the wrists. Now, in terms of being a little bit more active, there's also other options. Now, for example, let's say you work in an accounting office. You may have a printer in your room, but you may also have a printer that's down the hall into another room. Instead of choosing to print right behind you, you could always get up, move 50 feet down the hall, and pick your paper from the next room. Although it isn't a grand scale of exercise, it is still something. And imagine if you do this 20 or 30 times a day. That's going to add up, right? Yeah. That's going to, it's not going to be just one time most of the time.
Sometimes it happens too, it's for me too, you know, if it is, I have to get something, the computer on this one, so I know there's another computer on the other side, but I always try to be, because you can call it laziness or something, but you know, when you cross 50, you always try to save your energy, right?
For sure, I understand. But the ironic thing about it is, the more active that you are, the more energy your body actually produces. So in the beginning, it's always important to remember that everything is difficult, right? Because this is what I tell people. If being in shape was easy, and if being healthy was easy, everybody would be healthy, right? Because it's easy. But it's not. It's something that you have to work for. Right? So, you know, at the beginning, exercising is going to be difficult, stretching is going to be difficult, some of the rehab is going to be difficult, but as you continue to do it, it becomes easier and easier, and you actually get more energy, right? Because, like, I mean, a bodybuilder can go out to the gym and work out 4 or 5 hours in a day.
Yes.
That's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work, of course.
Right? So, but how can someone do that all of the time? It's because their bodies get used to it, right? And their body starts producing more energy and using their energy more efficiently, right? And then that way, you have more energy throughout the day.
In my childhood period, maybe I think it was 20, 30 years ago, I was watching a TV show, it says Sit and Be Fit. The lady was sitting in the chair and she was doing some yoga exercise or something. What you think about just don't do anything else, sit and be fit?
Well, I don't necessarily suggest sitting all day. That's not good. It's going to create a lot of problems for your back, your joints, everything's going to become tight. You're also going to develop a very unhealthy lifestyle, right? Because you actually require your body to pump its blood and its fluids and things like that. I think maybe what she was more directed towards were people who find it difficult to get to the gym and do things like that, where you can definitely do a lot of exercises at your chair or even at your desk at work to help get the blood flowing and your muscles moving throughout the day, absolutely. But I wouldn't suggest that as a lifestyle. You might have some adverse effects.
Right. The viewers, inshallah, we will come back in a couple of minutes just for break time, commercial break, and we will be back with you in a few minutes. Welcome back, and before the break we were talking about the people who are sitting in the office and they get overweight, or at the end of the day, you know, they are very tired. So in the meantime, we will ask Mr. Paul, so how can we avoid this when there is some kind of exercise if they keep doing it at the house, at the home, or maybe at the office, so it will be easy, it will make their life easy. So, okay, let's back to the topic point, you know, I know the people sit there for 8 hours, you know, there's any way they can avoid being inactive.
Yeah, absolutely. So like we were talking about a little bit before about going to different places in the office and not staying still in one location.
Right.
If you are experiencing a little bit of pain, there's a couple of stretches that I can show to help relieve some of that pain. So if someone's typing too much or using the mouse a lot, answering phone calls, they can find that their forearms and their wrists are getting very tight. So to stretch the bottom part here, very simply, you can just put your fingers together in a palm, and then you're going to pull your wrist back here. Right, when you do that, it's going to stretch the bottom of your arm. Now, when we're doing this, it's always remember to keep the thumb, so I'll show it this hand, the thumb tucked inside. When we're
it should
stretching.
be straight?
Yeah, the arm wants to be straight. If we're bending it and we do this, all we're doing is bending the arm. So we want to make sure the joints are nice and straight, and we're pulling the wrist back. But it's always important to make sure that you're not pulling it back to the point where you're feeling pain. You should only be pulling it back to the point where you're actually feeling a stretch and relief. If there's pain, you're going to go back a little bit and take some pressure off so that you're not creating any damage by accident or anything. And then if you're feeling it on the top here, maybe a little bit more towards your elbow, we're going to do the exact opposite. We're going to point the hand down and then again pull it in towards the body, and then this will give the stretch on the top of the arm. Again, people who are using their arms a lot during work will benefit from these stretches, right? Another thing is, of course, like our shoulders and our necks are getting tired reading screens and pushing forward like this. Or again, if you're answering phones a lot and doing this. So, we'll find two areas on our neck get really tight. The very back here of the neck and also the sides of the neck get very, very tight. So to do the back, all we're simply going to do is tuck your chin in, and then you're going to pull your head straight down into your chest.
Very good.
All right, so when you hold that for a few seconds, you'll feel a nice big stretch, maybe sometimes in between your shoulder blades, depending on how tight you are. Now, to get the sides of the neck is a little bit different. It's a little more tricky. So what we want to do is look down into your armpit here, and then you're going to pull your head down in this direction. Okay, now again, this is going to stretch the side of your neck, and if you're very, very tight, you might even find it gets to the very side of your arm, right? That's okay, it's normal, it's not a problem, but just always, again, make sure that when we're doing that, we're not creating pain, we're just giving relief and a good stretch.
Very good.
Right, this will get you throughout the day in terms of stretching. If you're feeling stiff, there's also a couple things that we can do, like if the joints are feeling very tight, stretching isn't really helping. For the hands, we can just open and shut the hands a little bit, right? This will stretch out the hand muscles and make sure the fingers are nice and active.
There's any quantity, 10 times, 15, 20, there's any, prescribed?
Yeah, with these kind of exercises, you generally want to stay between 10 to 15 repetitions, so 10 to 15 times, right? This is good to get.
And there's any time interval between that, after half an hour, 1 hour, do it again? Or
it's as much as you need, right? So if you're feeling like you're very tight throughout the day, you're going to do it more frequently. But if you're feeling like it's giving you relief and you're not as tight, then maybe only once or twice a day is good enough.
One more question about the chronic pain in the hand. What about if someone feeling the pain right on your thumb or maybe fingers or hand? So what is the reason, or what you can do, or any exercise for that?
Yeah, well, chronic pain happens for many reasons, right? The main thing to understand is that when we're feeling pain, it's our body's response of telling us that there's something wrong and that we need to check into it. So if you're getting shoulder pain, wrist pain, elbow, knees, wherever it is, it's always important and it's a good idea to get it checked out and make sure that it's nothing serious. Now, the problem is that some people will experience these pains for several months or even years at a time without getting it checked out. Well, if you came in the very beginning, it was a very good chance that we could have identified what the issue is and actually eliminated it without it becoming a problem in the first place. But because some people like to leave that pain for a long time and they're too busy with work or with family and things like that, these problems become much worse. And then it turns into severe cases like arthritis, and then in some cases you may need to get surgery. We want to try to avoid that completely, right? So it's important to come in right when you start feeling the pain so that we can fix the problem and then you never have to worry about it again.
I know some people, due to their, busy schedule or maybe something in their mind, they don't care about this thing. They say, oh, okay, it will just ignore it. They keep ignoring it. And at the point in it comes very, them to have to go. This situation. I know basically you are here every day in your clinic. What is the timing for if they want to come and meet you, or maybe you can, if you are not there, and if they want to come on their own scheduled time, is it possibility for you to accommodate them?
Absolutely. I mean, we are open all day into the late evening, so if people want to come before work or after work, they can do so. We also can book appointments online. If they go onto the website, they can book their own appointments during their own
Very good. That's good. So what is there's a web address on this one?
Sorry?
Website address?
Yeah, the website is evolvebrampton.com.
Evolvebrampton.com.
Or you can call the clinic. The number is on the screen, and we'll answer and we'll try to accommodate.
As per your experience, a lot of times it happens with the people, they don't have any cash or credit, and they don't have any insurance too.
Yeah.
If they feel pain, or if they need some kind of massage, or there's anything they can do, or maybe you have any kind of services for them?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely offer free consultations for all the patients. So if anybody is just concerned with their health problems and they need a little bit of guidance and to figure out where to go from there, we can definitely provide them with all that information. And most importantly, at least diagnose their condition so that they understand why.
At least they know what's going on and it is not arthritis or maybe some.
Exactly, because if it's something easy, then we can give them tips to fix the problem, right? But if it's something complicated, then we can explore the options at that point and see, what we can do to help.
Right. And sometimes accidents happen.
Yeah.
The people involved in accidents. A lot of time it is happen, when they are involved in accidents, the tow truck or maybe other people, they just grab them.
Yeah.
And they took them to their own people or something. What do you think? This is the right way to do it, or maybe they can stuck in something else?
No, I mean, you never have to go anywhere in particular, whether it's from the tow truck driver or your doctor. You're always allowed to go somewhere where you're comfortable. Right, so we see people who are in car accidents, and we try to handle everything for them in terms of the paperwork and the insurance aspect as well, so that they don't feel the pressure. Right, being in a car accident is pretty traumatic for most people. But definitely you should be seeking somewhere where you're comfortable to go to, where you can interview a few places and make sure that they can accommodate all your injuries and make sure they can help you and get better.
And it doesn't matter if it was their fault or not. They can go anytime.
Regardless, if you were in a car accident and you have insurance, you're entitled to certain coverage that the government it has to provide for you. So anybody who's in an accident, it will not affect your insurance policy in any kind of way. This is something that you're entitled to. And remember, if you're injured, you should definitely fix these problems so that in the future they don't become worse and turn into different issues that could need surgery. Right?
What happens if it is not a car accident? Just like in parking lot. I was walking down there, and if I fall down, so my insurance will cover this one, or maybe I have to claim with the landlord or some other?
Well, if you have private insurance through work, or if you pay for insurance yourself, that will definitely be covered for all injuries, slips and falls. Even if you're shoveling snow and you pull your back from doing that as well, that's not a problem. Any kind of home accidents or anything, the insurance will cover that as well.
It's covered that as well. Yeah. I know the people, they walk and they fall. In their home, the ladies especially when they are in kitchen or in bathroom, they sleep. Very good. I really appreciate you, and thank you being here with us, with our community. I appreciate your expertise on this one. And in future, if you need any help, if you need any consultation, any advice, he is always available. Only one phone call away. You can call him 905-457-5575, or go to his website at www.evolvebrampton.com and .com or .ca? .com. I'm right on that one. So, and make the appointment, and the first consultation is free. Even you do the second consultations, and you can refer the MEEM TV, he will give the free. And even if you need a third consultation, because sometimes you are confused, you go to him and you go to the another person, then after I say, oh man, I'm confused, I need to go again. So as far as you are, on the line of this guideline, he's always free. So inshallah, thank you very much, Paul, and inshallah see you next week with another tip. I know there's a big field around this one, so we can keep talk with other things and with the tips, so they can benefit from your expertise.
Yeah, and if anybody has any specific questions, we can.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. If you see that at the bottom of the screen, you see the phone number 647-719-1112. It is ticking around, and there's an email address too. You can forward your questions to our email address, or you can WhatsApp your questions. We will include that questions in our next program. And thank you very much, and God bless you. Allah Hafiz Nasir.